I'm standing in front of the Dehler 38 today. You can see it behind me here, and I want to take you for a tour to see what's special about this boat. It's 38 feet long, so it's not too big and not too small, just the perfect size, and it has been built to combine the best out of safety and out of comfort. So it's perfect for cruising, but it's also perfect for performing. And whatever you see today doesn't have to be exactly what your boat will look like, because you can change a lot of things towards a more competition style of your boat. For example, if you want to use it mainly for regattas, but of course it might look different if your main purpose is family cruising. So we will have a look around to see how they manage that to get the best out of the both worlds. We will start our tour right in the bow of our Dehler 38. You can see I'm sitting right in the bow, and there's this flap in the floor here. When I open it up, you can see the anchor chain will fall in there. But usually you don't really need that anchor locker, only maybe for maintenance work, because the anchor is controlled by an electrical winch. So just by pushing a button on a remote control, that will lower the anchor into the water and also pull it back up. So there's no need for you to do some heavy lifting when it comes to the anchor. And as you can see next to me, the anchor is fitted into the bowsprit there. That's an option that you can have if you want to attach a gennyca sail. That's what you can do to extend the bow further out. Right next to me here, you can see that the owner of this boat that I am on today has added a spinnaker pole. That's an option that you could go for. So that would be stored on the side here and then can be fixed to the mast. So that would be easier, for example, if you want to add a spinnaker sail, or if you want to optimize your foresail for downwind sailing as well. I'm sitting on the foredeck now, right in front of our mast. You can see there's a big skylight here in front of me, so that opens up down towards our master cabin, which gives it a lot of natural light. You will see that a little later on, but just so you get an idea, that's where that comes out from. What I'm sitting on here is a really nice teak deck, but right next to it we have a nice comparison, because the rest of this boat is done with the surface that's an anti-slip material. So even if it's wet or salty, you can't really slip, you can't trip over anything. If you want that, you can choose to have it. If not, you can also go for one of those teak wood options. There's different colors there as well, and you can have your entire deck in that teak material as well. The mast is approximately 18 meters long, and it supports a total sail area of around 80 square meters. So that's quite a lot when you look up from here. And what I also noticed is that the entire outer deck is very tidy. There's nothing lying around. That's mainly because all the sheets that come down from the mast are fed away and led under deck, so to say, towards the helm's positions. So we will see where they come out a little later. And also for the same reason, we have the gennyca rail on the side here. That is also for keeping all the sidewalk clear from everything, so all the sheets that you use to trim your foresail are also nicely out of the way. While walking along the sidewalk all the way to the back of our boat, I noticed that it seems very safe. Of course, now we're in the marina, there are no waves at all, but I have a handrail that follows me along the boat, so I always have a place to hold on to. And I noticed that the sidewalk is rather wide, so I don't have to trip over my own feet, and there is no step whatsoever. So I don't really trip over anything, and as I said before, there are no lines lying around. Everything is nicely tidied away. On the other side of me, I have the sea rail that also keeps me safe up here, so I can't really fall over. And what I also notice is really nice, it's the cleats on the side that can be retractable, so I can just push them down, and I have one less thing to worry about for tripping over. I'm standing at the starboard helmsman position. You can see that in front of me there is a carbon steering wheel. That's an option that you have. You can also go for a little less sporty looking one with a leather cover, but depending on your preferences, again, this is the one that makes sense for performance cruising, so you can go for that. I have everything that I need for navigating my boat right here. There's the compass right next to me and all the panels that I need to control my course. There's a second helmsman position on the port side that looks pretty much the same. On the side here, I also have the engine control, so if I want to go by engine and not by sail, I can do that from here as well. The engine is a 29 horsepower engine. If you want to sit down, you can also do that. On the side here, it's very comfortable sitting, and I can of course also look all the way to the bow of our boat where I was before, so I can see the anchor from here. And I have direct access here. The first thing I have is a little storage bag down here for whatever I need, and I have the access to my winch for the mainsail, and also on the back here the back stay to trim my mast. Right behind the helmsman positions I have these flaps in the floor. They're very easy to open, and they are on both sides. You can see here there's spare sheets in there, whatever you need you can just put down there and it's out of the way, nothing to trip over. The other one is just the same size, but of course you can use it for whatever you want. So if you decide to have your cool drinks just down below in easy reach, that can be done, or your snorkel equipment or whatever else you need in direct access. Right next to it, behind here, there's a little shower hidden in the wall. That's a freshwater shower to rinse off when you come off the swimming platform. I won't open it today because we're still in the marina and I will damage it when I pull it down, but it's a very easy option that you have here to open it. There's just those little flaps on both sides of the boat. You open them and then there's a line, you can see it here. That is only for safety reasons. So the platform will not just fall down. You don't really have to hold on too much. There is a hydraulic mechanism behind it that will lower it really slowly, and that is just for safekeeping, so you can just hold on to it. And then it will be lowered down, and just the same way, it's rather easy to pull back up. From both helmsman's positions, I also have great access to the traveler right here. That is for an easy trim of the mainsail, so you can very finely trim it depending on the wind conditions that you have. And right from here we will go on into the cockpit area. I will sit down for that to show you the big bench on the side here. I guess 3 to 4 people would fit here, and there's really nice cushions here as well. You can decide if you want this particular color or if you want another color or another material. That's completely up to you. So your boat can definitely look a little different than the one that you're seeing here today. We have a table installed in the middle here. You can also have a table that you can take out. Then of course it would be a bit more of a competition feel to take off the table completely, but this one is installed in the floor. It's closed away now, so you can walk around both sides, but when you're sitting here you can just open the sides. There is a click and then you have the full-size table. Of course you can open the other side as well. Then you have the big table here for 6 to 8 people to comfortably sit here, and everybody has a place at the table as well. It's very easy to close back down. It will just fall back down and is out of the way again. And what I also really like is this little piece here. It's also an option. This is a little light that comes popping out of the table. So it's a very small light, but it makes excellent mood lighting when you're sitting out here in the dark and want a little bit of romance going on or a little bit of ambience. Then that is perfect for that. And that will just make a really nice atmosphere out here for your evening beer. Right in the cockpit area I have a lot of storage space. I can just open up one of the benches. I will show you now. I just put back the cushions. And then I can open up the bench. There's a mechanism there. It opens up by itself and stays up here. And you can use the space for everything that you need. For example, here it's just your general equipment that you need. You can also put in your barbecue equipment or other stuff that you need in the water, for example. So whatever you don't want lying around can be stored here. So I think there's enough room here so you don't have to have anything lying around to trip over. So when we start leaving the cockpit area, we have again a bit of storage down here. It's the same kind of storage bags like we had at the helmsman positions, just to store little things that we don't want lying around. And you can see that we have a shaded area here. That's due to the spray hood that we have here. You can see on this boat it is light gray. It has the same color as the lazy bag above. So you can decide, of course, on those colors as well. You can have them black, for example, like 2 boats down in the marina right now. We have that in black, and you can decide, of course, to have the same color in the covers for your cockpit table or for your steering wheels as well. And that all gives the boat that personal note that everybody will know it's just your boat and nobody else's. So I guess we've seen everything that there is to see outside. So now let's have a look and start with the saloon. So we're inside now, inside of our Dehler 38. The first thing that I see is the galley area just next door to the staircase coming down. It has everything that a normal kitchen needs and a lot of worktop there, a lot of space. Because everything that we need is actually hidden, so while we don't need it, we don't have to see it or use it. For example, the sink, we can just open up the worktop and the sink is hidden beneath. Same goes for the fridge, that's in the corner here. So it opens to the top, so it's very easy to fill. And there is a second entrance down below at my feet, so that just makes organizing a little easier. All the heavy stuff can go down below because I don't want to push it up here and have it put in here. You can also see all along the back there's a lot of storage space there. So for example, your glass storage space back there, nothing can fall down or fall over. Everything is nicely stored. And of course we have a stove. We also have well, the stove top here you can see is also hidden. It has a very nice cutting board to put on top of it, so whenever we're not cooking we can use that space as a worktop as well. The oven down below, and also here a lot of drawers, a lot of storage space, so a lot of space for this size of boat. I have also many windows up here. I can open all of them to create a cross breeze, which in my opinion is especially important when you're cooking, because then you don't want the bad smells to linger in the saloon area and you can just wash them out quickly. There's also a handrail going all the way through the entire saloon, so there's always a place to hold on to. And what I particularly like is that you have all that indirect lighting from the back. So there's little lights down below there. You can't really see it now because it's sunny outside, but that gives a really nice mood lighting down here. On the side of the kitchen there's another flap here. I can open the side and out comes the rubbish bin, which is a very neat option to have it stored away. There are different lights, so I don't have to turn them all on. I can go for mood lighting, I can go for very bright light, just depending on what I need. For example, I have the dimmable light that I showed you in the kitchen that is just on the side of the wall, so very indirect lighting as well. And when I go along a little further into the saloon, I have even more storage space below the couch. And it's even on both sides. So every space that's not used for any other equipment is converted into storage space, which is really neat. I'm sitting in the saloon now. You can see there's a really long sofa area here. It's very comfortable as well. And besides me, there's still place for about 3 other people. And of course, we have almost as much amount of sofa on the other side of the boat as well. So we could have a really nice sitting area right in the middle of the saloon. You also notice that I only have half a table here. I can actually push down this part as well, then the table is completely out of the way, or I pull up the other side too, then it's a full-size table. So that always depends on the needs you have. If you're just 2 people here, there's no real need to have the full-size table, except if you're cooking a really nice dinner in your galley. What I also really like is hidden inside the table. When I open the side here, there's a wine rack sliding out, so that is kind of cool. So you will have your wine right there when you're sitting here with your friends or family. And because for the wine you always need a bit of nibbles, a little bit to chew on, you can put all your chips and peanuts in here. So that is really neat. I really like that. And as you can see, it's a very light wood that we have in here, as the walls and all the furniture inside, but that's completely up to you. It's basically the same as with the cushions outside. You can decide the kind of colors and the kind of materials you want in your own boat, so that it is really your boat and very personal, a very personal style, of course. The same goes for the cushions, so another material or another color is also possible. And I would suggest to get our brochure. You can get that from all of the dealers everywhere on the world, and they can tell you exactly what's possible, but most of the materials and colors are in the brochure as well, to give you just a bit of inspiration what your boat would look like. And in here we get a lot of natural light as well. We have windows all around, and there's also a skylight above me, so there's most of the natural light coming in from above, and I can also open that to create the cross breeze. So that is a really neat place to be. It's very bright in here, so it doesn't feel too claustrophobic or too closed in. It actually feels like I'm still a bit of outside. This is the navigation area. It's right in our saloon, so right next to the sofa. I have a big chart table here, and I can store all my seat charts down below if I don't want them lying around. And as well, hidden behind here is everything that I need. There's my radio, and there's all the panels I need. For example, on the left here, that's a control panel for all the inside and outside lighting, for the air conditioning, and all those other electronics that we have on board. And what is really nice as well, if we don't need the chart table here, we can also push it aside. Then it will be where I am sitting now, and we will extend the seating area in the saloon. I will show you now how that is done. So I'll try to convert the seating area so we have even more space in the saloon. I'll just take off these cushions here, push the chart table all the way to the side, and then I see in that cushion there is a little step here, and I will put that on this side. So this is the converted seating area. You can see that my chart table has moved all the way to the side. It is just sliding along a rail on the side there. I've removed the navigator seat cushion. That's the one that I'm sitting on now. And my navigator table light is now a little reading light that's just above the seat here. So now when we have the table pulled out as well and have the full-size table, I guess 7 to 8 people would fit in here inside the saloon. Right across from the galley we have the guest bathroom. You can see there's a sink area here with a nice big mirror. Again, indirect lighting below the mirror, and a lot of storage space as well. You can open the mirror up to have a bit of storage space there, and also the cupboards down below here. And a speciality of Dehler is called the uni-door concept. So what you can see here is the door towards the shower and the toilet that are in a separate room, so nothing else gets showered while you're in the shower. And this door can also be closed the other way, and then it will close off the entire bathroom and sink area from the saloon. I'm sitting in the aft cabin on the port side of our boat. If you want, you can have another of these cabins on the starboard side as well. Instead, on the starboard side, it would just be a big storage area. So that's completely up to you which layout you would choose. If you choose to have the beds, it would look like on this side. So there's a bed almost 2 meters long, a double cabin. We have the little reading lights here that give us a bit of extra light, but we also have the little windows on the side. So a bit of natural light comes in here, and we have a cupboard here as well to store all the personal belongings. I'm back in the bow of our Dehler 38, but this time down below. I'm sitting in the master cabin. There's a big double bed. It's almost 2 meters long, and I would guess down here almost as wide as well, but it loses a bit of the width to the back, of course. You can also see I can sit upright, and there is still some room above me, and that goes to all the way back to the end of the bed. So it will be very comfortable down here, and even for taller persons that wouldn't be a problem. We have 2 little reading lights on the sides here, and a lot of storage space again. So there's a bit of a storage up here on the wall. Then we have 2 big cupboards that would pretty much cover everything that we have, and we have little side storages down here as well. What I also like is that there are hooks in the wall to put your coats, and we have the skylight that we have seen before from upstairs from the foredeck, so that can be opened to get some fresh air into the master cabin as well. And we have the 2 little side windows, so we get natural light from all the different sides. So this was the tour of our Dehler 38. I hope you enjoyed it. As you saw, there's a lot to see inside and also on the outer deck, and depending on what your preferences are, you can change pretty much everything on this boat to fit your preferences and become your favorite spot, because it has to be your boat and not somebody else's, of course. Just talk to one of our dealers. They're in a lot of countries in the world, so there will be one in your area. Just talk to them, get some information, and they will be able to tell you exactly what's possible to make your dream come true for the perfect boat. One of those can be yours from 156,000 euros. But of course, also depending on what you want to do, just talk to our dealers there. I hope you had a good time and enjoyed the tour around this boat.